Oh, that was my shot. I have to do another.
Oh, Cass is trying to get me fucked up.
Oh, I did a beer's cheers. This is a shot's cheers.
Oh,
Here,
okay.
where's your glass,
Here.
Amy? I'll give you some more. Here,
Thank
glop,
you.
glop, 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 glop.
Now
All
we're
right.
raising some shots.
All right, here we go. Now we're doing an
All right, now we're
alcohol.
live.
Yes.
All
Cheers.
right, cheers.
Cheers.
Good. All right, that was so much better. All right, so we're excited to be here tonight. It feels almost like we're human again.
I know. I feel like I'm at home, and
feel like
it's
the
so
world,
weird.
the world is finally,
Normal, but it ain't.
it ain't normal, but
It ain't.
it's feeling more normal.
We're
Yeah.
making it feel normal.
Normal-ish.
It just feels worse.
It's normal.
Ah!
It's normal-ish.
Like 2 weeks, people, turned into a long time.
Yeah.
It did. So, but that's
But that's okay. We're still here.
We're alive,
We're doing what we can to stay happy and sane.
right?
We enjoy each other's company. We're in the studio.
I'm dumbfounded. It's the first time in a year that we're in studio and not on Zoom, and I love it because I missed all your guys' faces, and doing this and in person and not over Zoom, and
It just feels right.
it does.
I feel
So-
like everybody in here is a little turned on. Like I'm getting some heat off you guys because
Really?
you're that excited.
I think you're that excited.
I think in menopause.
I mean, I live my life a little
Not-
turned on. It's
I'm
like
not
not
turned on.
abnormal for me to be turned on.
Oh,
At least
no.
slightly.
See, I'm not turned on, but
I'm super excited.
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm not like a red rocket puppy.
Are you moist?
I'm definitely not moist.
No, I'm not moist.
No, sorry.
No.
There's some whores in this house. There's
Maybe-
some whores in the house.
Maybe
There's some shows in this house.
maybe
There's some shows
a little,
in this.
slightly humid, but definitely not moist.
Oh Lord.
Alrighty then.
I know.
On
And
that note, so
it didn't take long to make me speechless. Again.
For those who are just joining the Facebook Live, yeah, you missed like the first 10 minutes. I'm sorry. It's because the girls could not make up their mind if they wanted to be live or not. But here we are. Welcome to it.
yay.
Yay, drunken
We were
confession.
talking about the sizes of body parts being, they vary on, from person to person. There's no standard size for a penis or boobs or like shape or like whatever. It's just, I mean, okay, there's kind of a shape-ish.
I was like, there's
I mean, like a
general
general-
form you have
Like
to
a
adhere
g-
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, where are you going with this?
I was.
Oh, I was just explaining what everybody missed.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, anyway.
Well, they missed a whole hot mess. Is what they missed.
Yes. So what I was going to do is I was going to start off with a story. Can we start off with a story?
Of a man named Brady.
Okay.
No,
Story
I have a good story. I
time.
actually have a really good drunken confession that a friend of mine told me.
Okay.
And she said I could share it, but I'm keeping her name quiet and her location quiet because she comes from a very small town. So my friend calls me the other day and she's telling me this story, but she's laughing so hard she can barely even get it out of her mouth, So the story was she's telling me that her and her husband had quite a bit to drink the other night. And she's feeling really amorous, so she goes to bed, strips off all her clothes, and proceeds to jump in bed with her husband, who's on his phone. So she pushes his phone out of his hands and starts getting all frisky with him, right? And
Wow, chicken, wow, wow.
right. So
Okay,
she's
well,
getting-
I feel like I need background info to see how the story's going to go.
Okay.
How long have they been married?
5 years.
Okay, that could go either
they
way.
have 4
Yeah.
kids. They have 4 kids. But anyway,
So
anyway,
yeah.
so she's getting all, she's joking and laughing with him, and she's trying to get him all excited, and she says, you better get it up for me, baby, or I might just bite that thing right off of you, joking and laughing,
Because that's going to help get it
Oh,
out.
no.
Is a threat to
It
bite
was
it
a
off.
joke.
Yeah.
It was joking, and I mean, come on, we all say little funny things when we're messing around.
Okay,
I know I
there's
do.
nothing funny about I'm going to bite your dick off. I'm going to set that as the baseline.
Actually,
Let's
if
be
you knew
clear.
my friend, you would understand why that's just kind of funny, Come on, let's
'Cause-
go at it, kind of thing. But let
'cause-
me finish my goddamn story, Dave.
Because she once bit a guy's dick
Dave,
off? Like, why is
can I
that
finish
funny?
my story?
No, there's nothing. No,
You're ruining the fucking
No,
story.
I want you to acknowledge there's nothing funny about bite your dick off.
This is what you guys missed.
No, I'm not going to acknowledge it because it is funny, and the whole story is fucking funny if,
All right.
if somebody doesn't ruin it.
Okay.
Finish the story.
So anyway, It might not even have been bite off, but whatever. She's like, you better use that baby and you better get excited. Anyway, so they start messing around and she hears knocking at the door, her main door, and downstairs. So she's like, what the heck? And hears it again, really loud knocking at her door.
She was hoping for knocking at the back door.
So she jumps up, grabs her robe, goes running downstairs.
And it was her husband.
And
Grabs
looks
her robe.
outside. Robe.
Oh,
Looks
robe.
outside, and there's cops on her front porch.
Damn.
Dun,
So
dun, dun.
she's like, she cracks the door open. She's
Ma'am,
like,
we heard you
"Can
threaten
I-"
to bite somebody's dick off.
She's like, can I help you? And the cop says, yes, we received a 911 call from this location. When she pushed her husband's phone out of his hand, it dialed 911. So there she is. She's like, well, I'm not really dressed. And they're like, ma'am, we have to check and make sure your husband's okay.
Oh my god.
Because she was going to bite his dick off.
And she's like,
The hell?
oh my God. So she had to let these cops in to make sure that her husband was okay.
Sir,
Oh my
we need to
God.
see your penis.
Sadly,
So she learned her lesson about what to say when she's messing around with her husband.
Oh my
Or to be
God.
more careful about placing the phones on the bedside tables. And it's a very small community that she lives in, very small. So that's why I can't say names or anything like that because it would probably get out very
so
fast.
laughably, a friend of mine, when he was just dating what is now his wife, they went. They were like, some furniture store, IKEA, something, and unbeknownst to the both of them, her phone was in her purse, and things jostled around enough in just the right way that it called her father. Now, her father is a man that we lovingly all call the Colonel. Not from KFC, like he's a military guy,
Okay.
very 2x4 up his ass, very, very straight, very narrow, very yeah.
Got it.
And so as they're walking around, he's saying things like, oh, I could totally bend you over that counter and sniff, 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 nah.
Wow.
I could tie you up against that and sniff, 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 nah. He thinks she's been kidnapped. He calls his wife over, and they're listening to this thing on speakerphone.
Oh, God.
The mother grabs her phone and tries to call the police here in Michigan to tell them that her daughter has been kidnapped and is being forced against her will.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
Yeah, so they finally got through to his phone, and again, leaving names out to protect the not so innocent. But so apparently, it wasn't the mother or father, but I guess the sister came into the equation at some point, and the sister was like, "Well, let me call his phone." And so it called his phone and was like, yeah, so for what it's worth, the Colonel and his wife are listening to everything you're saying. Made the wedding a little awkward. Like
would
that's
say
like I was
so.
the best man and I totally brought it up in the toast. So
As you should.
That's terrible.
Here, here.
To the happy couple.
Right?
So yes, welcome back to the studio though.
Yeah.
It's good to have you guys back.
It is.
It's fun to be back. I
It's
love being
tons
in
of
the-
fun.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Like even for like it's March, it's not the random
March
70 degree days that we've had the last 2 days, but it is still packed here. It is still
really
it's a
busy here.
vibe, it's a scene, I love this spot.
It's a good time.
I didn't think they were going to let us in at first because we walked up and Amy's like, can we just walk in? I'm like, we're going upstairs to the studio. And they're like, oh, okay, just sign in.
It's
Yeah,
kind of
you
the,
just have to
it's
sign
it's
it.
kind of the VIP card.
But you know,
Hi, I'm here to do a podcast.
I went to, it's funny because I've been to a couple of restaurants and some of them have made me sign in and other ones have not at all. So I don't know.
They're supposed to.
They
do
are
it
all
for
supposed
contact
to.
Tracing.
Okay.
You know, like
I
just in
have-
case.
The only time I have not done it is when we went out for your birthday.
Right. We didn't do it.
At
No.
Mally's?
No.
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 Oh.
Uh,
Okay, I won't say the name of the establishment.
yeah.
I know what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's the only time that they did not ask. But
Yeah.
I also think it had something to do because they had the board there, but they lost our reservation
Right.
for your birthday party, and
So they were
panicked.
just trying to keep you
yeah,
happy.
They were like,
Yeah.
"Wait a minute, no, that's not what we have." And I was like, "No, I called, and they had me on the list, but they had the information wrong." And so the
Damn list was crossed off. I don't understand. Just flip a couple pages, people. You'll find the new reservation.
But you know what? The manager came over. She was like, I got you. It's fine. And I'm like, I have all these specialty cupcakes for her. I went to a bakery.
She did. Amy did it all up for.
And she was like, oh, I'll put those in the cooler. We got you.
You're such a good pod wife.
I am.
She was. It was fun. So.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed
Yes,
your birthday.
I did. I had a good time. So, my birthday dinner.
So we have talked about several. We've talked about Screwball before on the show, and I got to tell you, this Old Smoky peanut butter whiskey, so much better than Screwball.
Tom got one called Squirrel, and that one was so much better than Screwball too. I don't know if you have tried that one, Squirrel.
No.
It's yummy. It is yummy. In my tummy.
Yummy in your tummy.
Sorry, I was just getting hand sanitizer.
I had mine right here.
Just for saying.
Oh, I didn't see it.
You got it right on the table, girl.
You can't drink that.
What?
We have plenty of alcohol. You don't need hand sanitizer.
Right.
Don't tell me what to do. I'm an adult.
Oh yeah.
So again, this is your the bonus episode of Drunken Confessions. It was a spur of the moment decision for us to be like, yes, we're comfortable to go into studio right now.
Yep.
We haven't been out,
No, we have not.
so it may be a shit show. It may not be.
Who the fuck cares?
I'm happy to be in studio.
I am too. I am very happy to be here. And
I'm feeding your designated driver shots.
Yeah,
Yeah. After this one,
all
don't.
right, and then I guess
then
we're
you
going
put it out
to Uber
there.
home.
But he asked.
I
You just
already.
got to be careful because I know, like the other night at Amy's party, it took me 2.5 hours to get an Uber home. And that's going on both Uber
And he
Lyft.
likes it. So.
And, hey, you know what? I already paid this Uber over here.
Yeah.
So if we don't get Ubered home, I want
Right?
half of that money back.
I
Messed
know.
up.
I know. I paid for your first beer. I want my
I'm
money
gonna need
back.
that money to get us home. Damn it.
Oh my God, yeah, because there's, yeah, I was like, because yeah, you'd be so trapped. No one would ever make sure you got home safely. No one.
And then I'd pay for a tow truck so my truck don't get broke into.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
With the Uber
Where'd you wind up
money.
parking?
In the pay spot.
We paid, so we have somebody watching it for now. But
now.
There was nobody in the lot over there. There was like 10 cars. And this one, right next to DSC, packed.
Packed.
Yeah, well, because they just
They cut it in half a long time ago, though.
no, just 2 weeks ago.
Whoa.
Okay, no, you're right. It was that one.
There was one row.
Yeah.
Now there's 2 and 2. It was 3 and 1. Now it's 2 and 2.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, I know I am.
All right.
Amy's like, all right, we're not talking about parking anymore.
Who's got a drunken confession?
Okay, so drunken confession. St. Patrick's Day is coming up, real quick. My favorite
Real quick?
holiday.
It's on a Wednesday. Don't
Yeah.
care.
What is your favorite St. Patrick's Day moment that you've ever had?
Dude,
Yes, go.
when Bob
Oh,
had
okay,
a
Dave, go.
I'm sorry. I'll wait. Go ahead.
No, you already started. You gotta
No,
go.
go.
You gotta keep going.
No, so Bob had us all made Happy Kilpatrick's Day shirts with Kwame Kilpatrick's face with the big giant like green leprechaun hat. And we were roaming around down here like goddamn kings. Everybody asked us how they could buy them, how they could get them, we could have made $1 million if we'd had like a truckload of shirts like pulling along behind us. But yeah, like that, hands down, that was one of the best St. Patrick's Days ever.
Can you give us a rough estimate? What year was that?
So that was 8 years ago,
Okay.
right after he got convicted.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I was watching her looking at her phone. I thought she was taking a selfie.
Jeremy, do you have a best St. Patrick's Day?
I think mine was the day that I believe you had a baby shower or something for your sister, and I went with your cousins.
Yep.
And it was the parade. I remember
What's
the
a
parade
baby
and
shower on
everything.
St. Patrick's Day?
No, it was not. Hold on.
It was the
Let me
parade,
correct
so it wasn't exactly
was not
on the
St.
day.
Patrick's Day. It was on March 10th.
Oh, it was
'Cause
on
Detroit
the parade
always
day.
does
It
the
was
parade.
on the parade day.
Got
and
it.
I threw my sister a baby shower, and Jeremy was like, well, I'm going to get drunk with your cousins in Detroit.
But
Okay.
yeah, I partied
And I
all
went,
day with
okay.
them. Started in the morning. Towards the end of the day, it's like I realized I'm on the opposite side of the city, And everybody's like, we need to get you a cab to get you back to your truck. I was like, hey, man, I got to walk to the truck. If I can walk my truck, I can drive my truck.
Speaking of your truck, have you heard the story of the other night when we were all chatting and you weren't around, when Amy had never sounded more country girl in her life than when she was bragging about your tricked out pickup truck.
Nice!
Which
one was it?
Dude, all I know, I don't know. It was.
I've had an S10.
That's probably the one it was.
Okay.
And it was hilarious. It
remember
was
that.
it was something with a radio, like the radio had the thing that flipped.
That.
No, I do. I told this story
Oh,
about
it was
the
an
first
aftermarket
time.
Oh,
radio.
and she's like
Yeah.
she's like he had a tricked out pick, and I'm like, you have never sounded more country channel girl in your
It was a
life.
lowrider.
It was a
Oh, and she was
private-
like, it was lowered, it was hot. I was,
it was okay. So that was a private Zoom between
I don't remember
me.
the lowered part, but I
It was
remember the rest
between
of
me,
that.
Kat, or me, Steph, and Dave.
gonna
was
say, I
just the
wasn't
three
there.
of us on a Zoom, and I was talking about how the one time I left the face of your radio, and that's when your truck got broken into and everything got stolen.
Yep.
Yep,
And it
if
was
they
all
see
my
it, they
fault.
take
okay, so I was trying to avoid the downside of that story. I was just trying to build you up with, oh my God, my boyfriend at the time had the hottest
You were
pickup
trying
ever.
to build her up, and then you're
Well-
like, "Oh, you've never sounded more country girl." So
I know,
that sounds like
I know,
opposites,
I know,
right?
I feel
Dude,
like
I love
Yeah.
the I love the country music channel when I have it mute on. Like they're great to look
I
at.
hate you. Moral of the story:
So-
either I sound like a drunk valley girl.
Oh
Or-
my God, Becky, look at that
All right,
truck.
Country girl?
It is so low.
We have to finish our drunken confession. Best St.
Well,
Pat's.
yeah, so I was headed back to the Red Rocket. That's what I used to call them. The big and red.
I'm really glad my hair is fluffy today, so I can just hide behind it.
It was a really great day. Had a lot of fun with a lot
gonna
of
hide behind
places.
it.
And it was a 3-mile walk back from Corktown to the north side of the stadium for,
It would be. Yep.
yeah, it was about 3 miles.
Yeah.
And I walked, it literally is the middle of the day. I'm walking down the center line of Michigan Avenue up to my ankles in glass cups, beer cans.
Because
And I'm just
assholes.
kicking
Yeah.
through like making a path.
Bodily
So
fluids.
my best St. Patrick's Day was actually when we were friends with Hell City Detroit record company here in Detroit, and one of their like top artists was Matt Ratza, who I'm still in love with, like best artist locally ever, and he performed at the Grand Trunk, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
And we had
I can't remember what it
VIP.
was called at the
It
time.
wasn't
though.
called the Grand Trunk at the time.
It's called something
But when you
else.
say Grand Trunk, everybody,
Everybody
yeah,
knows
yeah.
the Grand
So
Trunk.
you know the upper balcony
Yeah.
of the Grand Trunk? So that was all the VIPs. So he performed up there. And then we got to be up there with him. And
Nice.
it was just so much fun. We had such a blast. We had a blow up leprechauns, like it was a
Okay.
good
All right.
time.
Blow up
Like that could go a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
Like we had a
Like,
blow up
alright.
leprechaun.
It was a
Well,
good
that party
time.
just took a funny turn, didn't it?
I honestly, I've hung out at a lot of really fun like St. Patrick's Day, like bars and parties. I don't really have a favorite. I just like to be with my friends and get stupid, and that's kind of what St. Patrick's Day has been.
We're good for that.
I mean, it's amateur day. It absolutely is. It's like there's St. Patrick's Day, New Year's Eve, and the Thursday before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. Like I can do all of those things and not be an amateur.
True.
Thank you. Thanks for that, Belle. So
You're welcome.
It doesn't matter if it's amateur hour.
see-
If my friends
And
want
since
to
the
hang
last
out,
time you were here, I brought another bell down. There are
thank
two.
you.
yeah, I noticed.
It might be amateur hour, but I think like when you're with the right people, even if
But-
you're at a bad place where people
But isn't that
dysfunction,
what
It's all about who you're
you
with.
can leave
Yeah.
and
Isn't
you can
it
do
what makes those holidays fun? Like we're seasoned. So the seasoned on those holidays, going out
Laughing at the
and
rookies.
laughing at the amateur hour.
Oh,
is, like,
yeah.
the best. It's
Oh,
like-
sweetheart, you're staggering to the porta potties to
Honey,
puke at 2
it's
in the
11
afternoon.
o'clock in the morning.
That's adorable. Like that's
I mean,
Yeah.
I've done that at like 2 a.m.
But 2 in the afternoon.
no.
That's yeah.
You can't wait in line anymore for the porta potty, so you're just gonna squat outside of it at 10 o'clock in the morning. Okay.
Oh
sweetie.
yeah,
I don't-
Okay, good
Enjoy
luck.
that green beer, there,
Yeah,
little
good
girl.
luck.
Yeah.
Right.
So even when we did the Last Shot of History anniversary show, we were in Hamtramck. We went to the cafe. We got I started off with an Irish coffee, and I didn't even get that hammered by noon. We started off early.
I have not been to Polish
I don't
Village without you.
understand how
Just saying.
people can escalate. But okay.
Oh my
Cass, it's
God!
your
When we
turn.
first started going down there, especially with the Hell City group, there was this one girl. Every freaking year during St. Patrick's Day, she would spill her staining ass mixed drink on my shoes.
Every year.
Every year, she'd just be talking to you, and you'd just see it slip out of her hand.
And it was always on Jeremy.
That's funny.
Oh, that was on purpose, huh?
Again.
That was on purpose. Come on.
Cass, what's yours?
Surprisingly enough, a lot of times we just go out drinking and we don't have any crazy times. I went to the parade once and I will never go back.
Fuck no.
There's no place to go to the bathroom.
And a parade,
Yeah.
parade day is such a Detroit thing, and I'm I don't get it.
Well, it's not a
I
lot of
want to
fun.
get it.
They do it in New York too. They do it actually in a lot of big
I
cities.
know.
If you
I
like,
get.
But
if you like to party in Detroit,
I get it.
I understand
honestly,
where you're going.
Do you need a second St. Patrick's Day?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
some people do,
I'm Irish.
most people don't.
I honestly think it's an experience you should do once.
The parade.
Like
Yeah,
I did it.
one-
I did it.
Oh, I
the
did
one
parade
time.
day. Yeah.
I did
Just
it. I
be
did it
careful.
the one time.
You have a place that you can stake
Yeah,
out
we
that you're
had-
going to go use the bathroom beforehand because
That was
trying to
our-
find one is impossible.
That was our mistake. But we had a DD. We got trashed. We took our chairs down there. It was a great day.
yeah. I just heard something break.
It's getting wild and crazy.
I know, for sure.
The zombie apocalypse started.
Well,
Frick, everybody run.
To be
you don't-
clear,
you don't have a.
Well, I was going to
favorite?
tell the story.
Okay, go.
I was getting ready to.
I know I interrupted.
Oh,
you
everyone
again.
keeps interrupting
I'm
me
sorry.
tonight. Dave
I
left, so I
know.
might actually have a chance to tell the whole story. So one year, Tom and I, it was our first St. Patrick's that we went out drinking together. And we went to meet Amy and Jeremy and her cousin up at this hole-in-the-wall bar that was really empty for St. Patrick's Day. It used to be J Dubs, and then it became 3 other things since
then it was a
Can I just
Nazi
add
bar,
one
and
thing
then
before you finish that story. Mind you, they met us after 6 hours on St. Patrick's Day of Amy drinking.
Oh my God!
Yes.
Okay, and
Yes!
And so Tom and I were completely sober. So we walk in, we get a
And
couple
I
drinks.
was totally not.
I
Amy
love
was
it.
not. So anyway, we get a couple drinks, and like I said, we're the only people there. So they're playing some music and everything, and we're standing there talking. Well, Amy's getting down and dancing and all that. Well, Tom's standing kind of leaning up against a table. Not really sitting on the table, but kind of leaning on the edge. Well, Amy decides she's going to come up and dance on Tom. Now, we all know my husband.
Were you doing like this?
We all know my husband, and we all know how awkward he is. And Amy turns around and starts putting her ass into him, and she's getting down. And you have never seen my husband look more awkward in his life because he's just standing like this because it's kind of like he didn't know what to do with his hands. He's just and I laughed so hard. I was crying.
Mind you, Cass gave me permission to do it before I did.
Oh, she
it.
asked me
Well,
if
yeah.
she could.
You're
100%.
always so
I just
thoughtful.
wish I would have. I just wish I would have videoed it.
Just to be clear, Amy is always very thoughtful.
Yes.
Before
I
she
I did not
tries
just,
to rub her ass
I did
on
not
somebody.
just go
Right.
up to Cass's
Very
husband and rub
thoughtful.
my ass on
No,
him.
but
I
when
was
she did-
like, this
Yeah.
would be hilarious.
But it
Cass,
was
can I do this?
hysterical, and so Amy So I wish I had videotaped her, grinding down on my husband because he was just. I've never seen him look more awkward in his life.
He was like, "What do I do?"
What do I do?
And
She's
I was
dancing
like,
on me.
What are the rules for this?
And I'm just laughing so hard. I was just crying. I
plus
was
my
laughing so
husband
hard.
also knew I was going to do this. This was like,
Yeah. How did we not videotape that? That's
I
what
have no
blows
idea,
my mind.
because I asked Cass's permission first, and then I warned my husband that this is what I'm going to go do.
And this was at the beginning of our friendship too. This is towards
Yeah.
the early days of our friendship. So it's like
It's
it's not
solidified
like
Wait, so
it.
Temple Bar wasn't the first? I feel betrayed.
No,
I
it's
know
not
this
the
was.
first.
God, what year was that? That was probably 2012,
It was the
2013.
That
Then I think it was 2012.
Yeah, 2012.
We had only known Amy for like 6 months, so Tom was like really new to Amy then. I mean, if she did it now, he'd be like, "All right, yeah, no, I'm out of here." But
yeah,
he
he'd
was
be like, he would
Me,
push
me.
me over.
he would have
and be
pushed
like,
her over.
"Yeah, get out,
Yeah,
get
but
out
now
of here."
but then he didn't even really know
Heisman.
her. It was hysterical.
That's how you do it. Usually, if somebody like tries to get too close to me that I don't want them to, I juke. I'm just like,
It's the Heisman.
yeah, real quick.
Real quick now. So
What are you doing, Jeremy?
I make sure I wasn't cracking the other one because I got this one already cracked.
He was studying it.
Way to go, Whitney
Okay.
Houston.
he's got his Yaga.
Who knew?
Lord.
Everybody
Wow,
knew.
too soon.
So, she's been dead for a long time. But so in that same genre, so has everybody submitted their TikTok video to Tiffany yet?
No.
I totally did.
Of course you did. I didn't even get to
But I
watch
did-
it.
but I
was
did-
at work.
But I did it off my kid's account because I'm not starting a TikTok account. I just refuse.
So, okay, I want to hear about this challenge because I saw that you posted
Yeah.
a TikTok from Tiffany in our chat, and I didn't get a chance. Like, I saw it, and I was like, oh, I'll go back
She
to that
wants
later.
people to do the "I think we're alone now" dance, which
Oh
is
my
like the
God, I
whole
have
feet
it.
thing.
I totally have it.
See, and I know that's why, because I knew you would. And so yeah, and then I made my kids do it, which was the best part.
This may happen tonight when I'm at home and drunk. So after
It might
podcast,
happen.
Or I mean, if this
Here.
wraps up soon enough, we could be at Temple Bar.
it may happen.
Oh
Who knows?
Can we eat first?
Yes.
Okay.
So for
That was really loud, I know.
No, but
For
I
our
no, but
listen-
I understand that look from you, and the only answer to that look is yes.
So for our listeners who don't get the whole Tiffany, I think we're
Look at
alone
what
now.
time it is.
Yeah, it's only 8:15. Yeah.
It is how Dave and I became best friends.
Oh, I'm sorry. 8:20. Sorry, I'm sorry. 5 minutes. Sorry.
I was talking to Stephanie, not you, Dave.
No, but we're in a studio. I hear you.
Okay, see, so sorry, listeners. This is what happens. We're not used to being in studio.
Yeah,
We're used
we
to be just
forget.
being drunk. We forgot we were recording, apparently.
I didn't forget.
I didn't forget we were recording at all.
Well, no, apparently you forgot I was Tom Petty. I'm Petty LaBelle. I'm Petty in Pink. I'm Petty Wap.
Dave never forgets that he's recording because he's literally here all the time
Can we-
because
But in studio, we can't mute him.
I
No.
know. I
No, you
do.
can't.
This mute button.
drunken confession.
I mean, it's possible. No, I'm not going to put that on air. No. Just shut me up.
Okay, does anybody have a drunken confession question to ask?
What?
We're not
I
prepared.
Honestly,
love how we all look at each other.
no,
like,
honestly,
huh?
it's not even a drunk confession. Like, what are you most? So the announcement came out today that apparently if you want the vaccine by April 1st or April 4th.
Is this an April Fool's joke?
No, April 4th. Michigan is going to be, if you want it, come get it. Like, it is going to be wide open. So what are you most looking forward to after that date?
Oh, that's assuming everybody here is going to get a shot because I can't assume for anyone I'm going to get one. I'm here for Moderna.
I mean,
all day.
I'm already, like, I had my second one 2 weeks ago. So yeah.
What I'm most looking forward to is when I go to the grocery store. Like, I could actually go to a grocery store and not feel like everybody is literally a volcano of disgusting disease. You know?
Dude, I'm
Like,
not-
I
I'm not
feel
gonna
like
lie.
That's just like
Oh, I feel it.
I'm
Myers
not
of
going to lie.
Walmart.
Like, my vibe in the studio has changed over the course of the past 2 weeks. Just because, I mean, we're getting more and more shows. We're getting more and more randoms. And as a result of that, that was the driving force behind me getting it. I'm like, I got an 11-year-old son with asthma. Like, I don't know. Like, that can't be a thing. I find myself more relaxed. Like, I find myself more, like, I'm not clicking record and leaving the room.
running away really
So,
fast.
I'm just
Abandoned
gonna put
ship.
this out there. Drunken confession. I totally support the vaccine. Okay? I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way. If you're comfortable getting it and you can get it, get it. I'm so happy my mom got it. My sister has gotten it. My aunt has gotten it. I support it 110%. However, I do not have any plans in the near future for myself to get it.
That's fine.
And I have underlining issues with it. I can't get the flu shot for medical reasons.
So that's the
Right.
thing.
So that's that's very much.
Well, and so here's
So-
that's a
here's the
huge
sad
thing.
reality. Like my whole thing is like so like I said, I got my second shot. I'm in.
So all I just
I'm
wanna-
afraid now the Johnson & Johnson shot is going to be the best of the three.
which I can't get though.
Well, because it's most similar to the flu shot.
Yes.
Because and this is
Because
why.
if I could get if I wanted to go out and get the shot right now, the Johnson & Johnson one is what I would want to get, and that's the one that is the most dangerous for me to get, so I can't get it.
I'll take
So-
one COVID shot and one EpiPen, please.
All I want to put out there, so since you guys brought it up and we're going to talk about it, and I'm going to use this platform just to put my thoughts out there, my 2 cents. I support the shot. I support everybody choosing to get vaccinated. I totally 110% do. However, quit asking people if you're vaccinated.
It's HIPAA.
Quit asking people, are you going to get vaccinated? Because I should not have to go into this whole I have allergies and justify myself of why I'm not getting it.
Right.
To be clear, Amy works in a doctor's office.
I work
Right.
in the medical field.
Yeah. And so people are coming in there and they're asking her this, and that is not their
No.
that
No.
is not their business.
Like,
yeah, no.
I don't mind if my friends, my family, and I talk about it
Right.
because they know me. But
Plus, they know you have underlying conditions, things like that, and
I'm
you're not
pretty
going to get into
sure,
that with a
like,
stranger.
complete
Right.
strangers need to stop asking complete strangers about the vaccine.
Right.
Like that's just everybody
really
forgot
personal.
about
Well,
everybody
to be
forgot about
honest-
HIPAA.
To be honest, I think
Motherfucking
Oh my God! Hey, are you on the pill?
I
Are
know.
you like what's going on? Like, are
kinda what it's
you?
like.
right.
Is your butthole itchy?
Like-
Like, can I ask
But
that?
no,
Like,
to be-
do you walk into a doctor's office and ask, is anybody here HIV positive?
Right.
No, you don't, because it doesn't matter. You shouldn't have to walk into any medical
I mean,
facility.
but I
and be
try to
like-
stay positive.
You shouldn't walk into a medical facility
Right.
and be like, is everybody vaccinated?
Well, I think what's going to happen is eventually people are either going to get vaccinated or they're going to get it.
yeah.
One or the other.
One of the-
and because that seems to be the case,
I mean,
because it
well, we
is
did-
so widespread.
Hot take there, Cass. That's kind of how that works.
What? No, not necessarily.
Well, I haven't
Amy hasn't
I
gotten it.
haven't gotten
Now
it,
I
and
have.
I haven't been vaccinated.
Out of all of us in this room, I'm the only one that's been tested positive for it. I mean, you might have
No,
think you've
so I
been-
tested positive for antibodies way back in the day.
Which means that you
Okay.
had it.
Yeah.
But-
or had something
so,
else.
So the point is, though, I mean, not everybody is going to get it. Not everybody is going to get the vaccine. It just is what it is. It's going to run its course, and we're going to end up back to somewhat normal life.
Yes.
What this has all taught us, though, is, the importance of
Not picking your nose.
washing your hands.
Stop
you know,
scratching your
being
ass.
So
sanitary,
I've said it
things
before. Like
that.
this is like so. There's a show that ran with us forever, and it's T Money Green, and he and his wife used to show up at the Royal Oak Studios. And his wife is Asian, and T Money is a guy that's dude. He's got a history with like Death Row Records. Like he's got crap.
Okay, I was wondering what happened because I missed them.
So
I've missed them for so
like they're
long.
getting ready to come back in studio.
Shut
and
up.
and so but like they always showed up in studio, they always showed up to the Royal Oak Studios wearing masks.
Yep.
No, it's still-
And people are always like, well, what the F is that about? Like, and like this is years ago, like
Yeah.
long before this.
yeah.
Like but his
Pre-COVID.
wife was Asian and like she was Japanese and like and like brought like that was a thing. And so like that, like even if you had a cold, if you had the sniffles, if you had whatever,
Put a
like,
mask on, not spread it around.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so like that was a whole to do, and like now it's funny. Like Tony and I were talking, and I'm like, dude, like I'm not gonna lie, like a lot of people used to like mock you and your wife, and now
then
we're
they're
all
like,
like,
they gotta figure
like
it
you
out.
were just geniuses ahead of your time.
What's one of the things they're talking about is over in Taiwan. They really didn't have much of a problem, but people don't understand is Taiwan
Because
doesn't
99%
never trust China.
West.
And they're like,
Yep.
oh, China's sick again? Well, we got masks. Oh, well.
Right.
Everybody else is like, what do you mean there's a pandemic? Everybody's sick already. go.
Do you guys want to get really drunk?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Dang.
Boo.
What?
Okay, well, not you.
No, Jeremy can't get really drunk,
Man.
and I will have some drinks and get
All right.
a little drink on, but I'm not
So,
getting.
I think this is going
drunk.
to wrap up the bonus episode of Drunken Confessions.
Is it?
Yes.
It
Yeah,
is.
it should. I think.
So I love that we're back in studio. I'm hoping that we can come back here more.
Yes, I agree. I think we will be.
I would like to hear last thoughts from everyone.
on.
Yes, I like that idea.
Let's
so why don't
just-
you start?
My
No,
last
so
thought,
so last thought should be, what's the biggest change you've made over the last year?
that's really difficult. I haven't left my house like
That's a big change for you.
that. Yeah.
There's been no cons. There's been no.
Okay. So yeah, I've left my house like 5 times in the last 6 months. There we go.
The biggest change for me in the, what did you say, last 6 months?
No, last year.
Last year. I've been more non-social. Because you guys know me. Amy gets drunk, Amy talks to strangers.
No.
Got a new
so that's probably the,
New job.
oh, well, yeah, I got a new job, but
It's pretty big.
got a new job. Okay.
But we're talking about like overall.
That I don't talk to strangers when I'm drunk because I don't.
Thank you,
need
Rick
to.
Springfield. Don't talk
Okay.
to strangers,
Jeremy?
baby. Don't you know?
The only thing that's really changed for me is not going out on like the weekends
like
and middle of the week out to the, maybe to a bar or out to eat or.
Your nails look good.
But
Thanks.
other than that, I was never really allowed to quarantine. I was like one of those important people.
Yeah.
So
Essential.
I was like, what do you mean I can't go out to eat no more?
Dave?
Dang.
Dude, we probably the biggest impact on me was we shut down the Royal Oak Studios because we had no choice. Like I had no idea how to reopen a multiple studio environment safely amidst all this shit, and that was a heartbreak because that was our home base. Like anybody who'd ever been there knows like how much art and how much love and how much of our heart and soul we had in that building.
But Ferndale lives forever.
And so does Detroit.
But so and that's what I learned is like so like I was really broken up about it for a few weeks and then I was like, you know what? Who cares? Like it's like yeah, that was what it was at the time.
It's a building.
But
it's not your memory.
yeah, they are memories and that's great, but you move forward. Like you can't cling to that. Like if the last year has taught us nothing, if you can't evolve and you can't change and you can't adapt and you can't move on, dude, you're a T-Rex, you're a dinosaur, and not Steph's underwear. Like you're like there's
And there's nothing wrong with T-Rex.
And it has nothing to do with Dave's age either.
And
No.
All right.
I got my girls back. Cass.
Honestly, I'm gonna say the last year the biggest changes for me weren't like the whole non-social thing. I still went to work every day, things like that. I still
Yeah.
hung out with my friends. I just hung out less at the bar, but we still hung out. So with me, the biggest changes came from my career. Becoming a financial advisor was huge. And just because it was so significant for me to become a financial advisor that
And you
everything
passed,
else
you
is...
passed all your tests.
I passed all my tests. Woohoo! Well, I'll drink to that. Yes,
Well,
fuck yeah.
Yeah,
Because that's huge.
because I lost my
It's
friend
huge.
for a few minutes there.
I'm still recovering from that. But no, I would have to say just the inner me, the becoming more sure of myself, becoming more stable, and everything else with what I am and my goal and my careers and everything else. Just that self-assuredness that I have now. So
I love
that's
that.
what's changed more than COVID. COVID didn't change me as much as all this did. So I guess the impact is whatever hits you the most, I guess.
Absolutely.
And that's why
somebody give
Positive.
a little shout out. Big Bill Lindholm is out there
Bill.
watching and said, "Oh my God, that looks like such a fun gathering." It is, Bill. You're not here. Sorry.
Hey, Bill.
Hi, Bill. We miss you. Although we see you on Zoom a lot.
If we go someplace else, I'll text you, Bill.
So on that note, we're going to raise our glasses one last time for our first in studio in a year.
And does anybody have a cheers?
Cheers to being fucking
Cheers?
out again.
Fuck
Out of the
yeah.
house.
Here's
Freedom!
with the
Here's
greatest
to
of
non-zooming
friends. We're
podcasting.
the greatest of friends.
We're the 3 best. We're the 5 best friends.
I love that I started that.
I
That was
know.
your song.
It was the 3 best friends, but now I guess it's the 5.